Well, Canada Post is temporarily halting contract talks with its postal workers union as the deadline for a potential labor disruption is just 1 week away.
Now, the Crown Corporation says the last few days of negotiations with the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, CUPW, have been fruitless. It claims pausing discussions will allow it to bring, quote, comprehensive proposals to the table that it hopes can move forward. On the flip side, the union calls the pause reprehensible. An extension on the existing deal expires May 22nd, at which point a strike or lockout is possible. So let's talk more about this. Joined live this morning by labor lawyer Sundeep Gokhale. Sundeep, appreciate your time this morning. So on the one hand, Canada Post saying, we're not getting any decent proposals here, but the union is saying, no, this is, reprehensible to do this. Is there a right or a wrong in this situation? Which party's in the right, or is this just classic bargaining?
It's a strategic move by Canada Post. What people may forget is back in January, the government set up a commission to look at things like delivery models, the financial viability of Canada Post as it's currently constructed. That report is set to be issued today by well-renowned arbitrator and mediator William Kaplan. So I suspect Canada Post believes that that report is going to substantiate or bolster its position that things need to change. The weekend delivery model needs to be implemented, and there needs to be some flexibility as it relates to delivery models if Canada Post is going to remain viable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sundeep, we know that timing is everything. Back in December, when there was the threat of this, they had a lot more bargaining power because it was the holidays, a lot of deliveries being made. But now in May, not as likely a flurry of activities. So how is this going to impact their kind of bargaining power for the unions?
Well, it definitely takes them out at the knees in terms of the bargaining power. And I think the other challenge that the union's going to be facing right now is that there's more economic uncertainty now than there was back in January, given the tariffs and everything else that's in place right now that's negatively impacting our economy.
What do you make of the strategy from the union? I mean, you just highlighted, the way things have changed because Donald Trump has become president of the United States and the tariff threat. B, the Crown Corporation itself says it's losing, millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a year. If the well is dry, if there's no money there, what could the union expect to extract from Canada Post?
That's I'll call it the $3 billion question right now, because through audited financial statements, Canada Post has lost $3 billion since 2018. And I think a lot of us are scratching our heads to think, why not be flexible right now in terms of trying to support this mandate for weekend delivery, because it will help preserve, over 60,000 jobs through Canada Post. So your question is right. I think a lot of people are thinking, what is the tactic? What is the end game for the union in this position, given the lack of bargaining power that currently exists right now?
Mm-hmm. And Sundeep, one of the key issues is Canada Post wanting to add weekend delivery. A big fear from the union is that this is going to take them out of the equation for full-time work. They're going to rely on part-time workers and gig workers. So from a labor law standpoint, kind of what are the rules of this? Is there anything set in stone, or is this something that can be negotiated?
It absolutely can be negotiated. It's not uncommon for parties to agree to, weekend shifts, weekend staff, and allow people with more flexible schedules to pick up that work from a part-time perspective. It's obviously cheaper for Canada Post to maintain that flexibility and implement parts of the private sector in terms of the gig economy. But yes, absolutely, that can all be negotiated at the bargaining table.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is labor lawyer Sundeep Gokhale. Really appreciate your time this morning. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Sundeep.
Anytime.